Well, g'day and welcome to Hibo's Model Bench. Well, today I'll be giving you an average modeller's view of the build of the Tamiya 1:35 scale Panzerkampfwagen. So here we go. Well, welcome back. Before we get into the build of the Panzerkampfwagen, do yourself a favour or two. If you like a few laughs, we all do, make sure you smash that subscribe button. That's obviously if you haven't already, because if you have and you smash it again, you're going to unlike or unsubscribe to a page. We don't want to do that. It's going to be fun. If you want YouTube to notify you of every time I put new content up, just like this, make sure you smash that bell button. It gives you notifications, and you can set it to whatever you want. It's awesome content. Well, at least my mum says it's awesome content. Also, if you want to gain access to this amazing video, make sure you scroll across to the bottom left of the screen and hit that thumbs up button. So make sure you hit that every video you watch. Make sure you hit it, because that way it gets in the algorithm and more people get to see this amazingly awesome content. So alright, let's get into it. Alright. So I've come down the bottom here. Just move my phone. I have some sort of script that I try to look at when I do my introduction now. But last night, when I got off the phone, off YouTube with Peter and Jace, I decided I'd do a bit of a build. So this is part one, which is the rear panel one. So I did a video on the actual building part of it, but I'd had a couple of beers, so we won't put it up. And there we go. So what I've had to do is I've had to build this little part here, which is, I'm not sure, but there was a little part that I had to put in the middle. I've had to put these two, I'm not sure what they would be, well, those two there in, and these two back panels, those two there, that one and that one. So what we're going to do now, today, I'm just going to put that there, is I'm going to have a look at doing, I'll just move all these over here so we can see what we're looking at. Put my pilot. So there's my pilot for the F14. I think he looks pretty good. So I'll put him over here. So we're going to look at, we're going to do rear panel 2. So we need a few parts. Looks like I need to drill a couple of holes. There's a bit of measuring. It's got, let's see if I can zoom in so you can see that. Probably can't. But it's got here, it says 1.4 millimeters. So it looks like there's a hole that has to be a 1.2 millimeter hole, which goes 10 millimeters in. So this actual part would be 20 millimeters. So this is part C28. That's E. Put that back in this paper. Plastic. There's 2 E screws. What's this one? This one's C. Let's get this out. Excuse me, I've still got the lurgy from Brisbane. They're not quite as sniffly today. So we're looking at C28, which is supposed to be this bit here. So we'll cut this out. I'll put this back there. Alright, so we've got C28. I've left this on so I can hold it. So this has to be 20 millimeters. So I'll just go and get my little icky sticky measuring tape. Be back 1 second. All right, so this is the bit. This is C28. So it's 20 millimeters long, as you can see. So 2 centimeters with the icky sticky measuring tape. The hole needs to be 1.2 millimeters down, I believe. Well, 1.4 millimeters down, but 1.2 millimeters round. And it needs to be 10 millimeters. So let's go 1.4 down first. Okay, so I'm not the best measurer. Got a bit confused, a bit cock-handed, but yeah, we got there in the end with the icky sticky tape measure. So let's get back into it. Okay, so here I am setting up to do my drill, my hole, using 1.2 mil. I was just counting across. Now I have a bit of trouble here with the pin vise getting the right size. Oh, what is going on here? And yeah, not something I use very often. Has it got it sorted out yet? No. Hey, right on, Hilo. Just doing the hole. Yep, it's going through, all a bit crooked, but there we go, perfectly through. Unfortunately, I did do a voice with my big camera, but it didn't synchronize, so you're stuck with my voiceover. There's a few small little bits I've got to put into that, or one small little bit I've got to put into the C28. So I've just zoomed out a little bit. This is a small bit, goes into the hole. There is actually a bit of a trap for beginners here. It goes in a certain way, which you'll see here. Not very well because I'm going a bit too quick. But yeah, it's there's a keyed section and it needs to go in a certain way. So just make sure if you do this build, you pay attention to the bottom left hand of the instructions there. Now I'm going to get into I'll put this in. You can see, so this here, it's keyed. It fits nicely. It slid in like a hot dog sausage into a hot dog roll from Wendy's. Not too loose, not too tight, so it was great. Now I'm just doing 2 tiny little bits that go onto the back section, my icky sticky tweezers. This part here is very small, it's like a column. Again, it goes into a certain way, so you've got to make sure you get that right. And then there's a really, really tiny bit that goes on top of that. It's probably the size, or just under, or probably half the size of a match head. So yeah, quite small. If you watch a lot of Pete's Oscar modeler stuff, you'll see he uses a lot of match heads. Excuse me. There you go, just showing you that. Marking it off and just showing you the small bits. So ticked off, crossed off, and now we get into the muffler. So again, this one's quite a nice, fun little thing to put together. It's quite cold here today. A really strong onshore wind, but you might be able to hear it in the background. Just doing a bit of sanding, making it nice and smooth. I actually do like sanding. I'm really speaking a lot of crap right now. If you want to hear good voiceover, listen to Hillbilly Military Models. He make you laugh. He's a funny bloke. He's got a strange accent. So if he was Australian, he'd probably be Tasmanian. Not really, he'd be Queenslander. But here we go, just putting in part of the muffler. And the ends, I've got to paint the muffler. I'll do another video on that shortly, when I actually do the paint. Which will be all part of this, so you'll see it. Sorry. So there we go, there's the end of the muffler being done. And there you go, complete. So, let's get into the painting section shortly. Well, g'day, welcome back. Just going to prime this and put some primer on it. I'm going to be using the Mr. Blobby black surfacer. It's cost me $15. Jason from Aussie Scale Modeler reckons it's 1 part Mr. Surfacer to 1.5 parts leveling thinners. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this a good shake. I'm just going to get, so it's 1 part. So so if it's 3, it's 4.5. So we'll get 10, it's 15. So let's see if we can do this. Perfectly primed. Just put this down. A nicely primed bit. It's drying very quickly too, which is really good. So I'll leave that for 45 minutes to an hour, and I'll come back and paint it. So I'll see you all then. All right, so we're back. I haven't subjected you to me trying to do this paint, but it is done, so I'll just give it a bit of a mix. So I ended up doing 20 drops of the metallic silver, which means 30 drops of the red brown, sorry. So, I'll get some tweezers. So here we go. All right, so there's the muffler all painted up. Should just put the red brown on it because you can't really see. I suppose it's a little bit shiny, metallic looking. So yeah, so that's that. Should go get myself I will actually go get myself a alligator clip. Put this on, so I'll be back in 1 sec. All right, So I've got the alligator clip. See if I can just get it so it's not going to cause any drama. Alright, oh. Okay. So give that a bit more of a touch up. Just caused a bit of issue with it. Well, there we go. So that's all done. So I'll wait for that to dry. Oh, come up here. Yeah, so that's all done. We'll wait for that to dry. Yeah, and then we'll see what we're going to do. I've got a little bit more housework to do. Got to take Mr. for a little WALK downstairs to go to the TOILET. Work it out, Jason. I'm sure you'll be able to work that one out. Peter, you might struggle. Not really. They're both very smart men. So yeah, we'll see how this all goes, and once that's all dry and everything and I'm happy, I'll be back and I'll see what we're going to do next. All right, so we're back. Just realised, although this says to paint it now, just realised that this is going to need to be painted. Or come down here. Just realised that this is going to need to be painted. So it sort of left me in a bit of a pickle. Do I glue this in place like that, or do I leave it until I've painted the tank? I think I might leave it till I've painted the tank. And here comes Ben. He's got his ball, so he's going to want me to play, but I'm not. So I might leave it until I paint the tank. So I'll get myself a container shortly and put it in. So anyway, I have to now do part 3, which is attaching the muffler. Well, it says to attach it, so I'm going to attach it, because I might not be able to a bit later on. And there's a few other little elements I have to put on, like C21, E7, E6, E7. So there's 2 E6s, 2 E7s, and a C20. So C21 and C20. And then I have to do the front panel. And I think that would be it for the day. And I will then put on the video. Sorry, I'll upload the video. So let's get this going. Okay, so you can see that I'm getting ready to cut parts C7, E7, E6, E6, E7 and C20, so that's C21 as well, off the sprue. These are quite small parts. C21 is an L shape, and so is C20. They go on the outside of this section, which you can see I'm putting on now. They're really quite small. Hopefully I'll be able to work out how to zoom in on Premiere Pro one day to show you how to do it. Now I'm getting the E-sprue out. These are also really quite small pieces. Yeah, I'm just texting some. Oh, there we go. I've zoomed in. See, that's where I've stuffed up. I've put my phone onto the mouse. So unfortunately, you're not going to see a lot of this. But I'll explain what I'm doing anyway. So, which is pretty pointless. But E7 is a circular part that goes into where I've just put it. E6 is a very small part that goes on the top of E7. You can see it just in my fingers there. Fits in nicely. Done. Now for the other E7. And you've got to just clean it up a little bit, because it has a notch on the back of it. So we're just using a bit of Tamiya normal cement and another E6 to go on top of that one. It's, I'm sorry, this is really pretty piss poor. And now it comes to another C20, another L piece. So embarrass the boys and Hillbilly Military Modelling. Yeah, he does an awesome voiceover. Okay, so here I am just showing what I've done. I was actually talking during this part, but yeah, it's a pretty boring thing now. I'm just explaining that I'll be doing the front panel, which will include parts B8, E9, 2 times of an E10 and another E9. So I'm looking for the B panel, just cutting out B8. So I reckon E9, E10, I reckon they're all like hard eyes for towing purposes. They're quite small, but a bit of extra thin quick setting goes into it. So up the top and in the bottom. And you got more of the bits, so E10 now. Excuse me. I'm not going to keep on talking about what's happening here. But yeah, a little bit more going on. And there we go. That's pretty much that part done. So now all I have to do is prime it. So with Mr. Surfacer, which I love. I think it's sensational. There I'm talking about how good it is. So there we go. So we'll get into the last part of this video and I'll talk to you later. So there we go. Parts 1, 2 and 3 finished. Just need to do a bit of a prime on these parts. So that part there. So I just got a bit of a stitchy nose. And a bit of prime on that part there. Just to get everything done. And that'll be it. So I'll do that a bit later. Please, if you haven't already, like I asked you at the start, smack that subscribe button. Don't smack it unless if you've already subscribed, because then it'll just unsubscribe you. Make sure you hit the like. The more likes, the more chance it gets out to people who might be contemplating to do this tank, who might want to see how not to do it. If they want to see how to do it, they go see Peter Jace. They'll do it right. And comment, lots of comments. Makes me feel like I've got friends. I don't have a lot of friends, so the more comments, the better. And I will reply to every single comment. If there's 1,000 comments, there'll be 1,000 replies. So anyway, yeah, that's it. Tomorrow I might get onto a little bit more. What do we got? Putting things onto the actual body of the tank. So that'll be interesting. So we might give that a go. So I'll talk to you all soon. Take care and be happy.